Hello students, welcome to my channel Learning History Made Easy. In today's video, we will be seeing about the rise and growth of Magadha. Before going into the video, if anyone is seeing the channel for the first time or if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe and also click the bell button to receive notifications whenever I upload new videos. So without wasting time, let us get into the video. So today's video is about the rise and growth of Magadha. The rise and growth of Magadha. So in the last video, we have studied about the 16 Mahajanapadas. So here we are going to learn that how among these 16 Mahajanapadas, how did Magadha grew into power? Who were the people responsible for the rise and growth of Magadha, and what was the reason responsible for the rise and growth of Magadha? That is what we are going to see in today's video. So Magadha, it came into prominence under the leadership of Bimbisara. Okay, Bimbisara of Haryanka dynasty. So Magadha, it came to power under the ruler of Haryanka dynasty, that is Bimbisara. And he also was a contemporary of Buddha. Bimbisara, he followed the policy of conquest and aggression. Okay, he followed the policy of conquest and aggression for expansion, and this ended with the Kalinga War of Ashoka. So Bimbisara, he annexed Anga and placed it under the viceroyalty of his son Ajatashatru. Ajatashatru was the son of Bimbisara. Okay, so he first conquered Anga and he placed it under the viceroyalty of his son Ajatashatru at Champa. He was the earliest Indian king, that is, Bimbisara was the earliest Indian king to stress the need of efficient administration. He always stressed on the need of efficient administration. And Bimbisara also did one more thing to strengthen his position, that is marriage alliances. He also improved, or he also strengthened his position by marriage alliances, that is matrimonial alliances. And for that purpose, he married first, that is his first wife was the daughter of the king of Kosala. King of Kosala's daughter was his first wife. Okay, and she bought Kashi as dowry. Kashi was bought as dowry by his first wife, who was a daughter of king of Kosala. So Magadha came into prominence under the leadership of Bimbisara, and Bimbisara belonged to Haryanka dynasty. And he began the policy of conquest and aggression, which ended with the Kalinga War of Ashoka. Bimbisara, he first annexed Anga and he placed it under the viceroyalty of his son Ajatashatru at Champa. He was the earliest of the Indian kings to say about the importance of efficient administration, and he also strengthened his position by marriage alliances. And his first wife was the daughter of king of Kosala, and she brought Kashi as dowry. So that was his first marriage alliance. Now his second wife, Challana was a Lichavi princess. Okay, she was a Lichavi princess from Vaishali. That was his second wife. Then his third wife was the daughter of chief of Madra clan of Punjab. She was the daughter of the chief of Madra clan of Punjab. Okay, first wife was a daughter of the king of Kosala. Second wife, Chalana, was a Lichavi princess of Vaishali. Third wife, the daughter of chief of Madra clan of Punjab. So he followed the policy of marriage alliances or matrimonial alliances for the expansion of his power. Marriage relations with different princely families lent enormous diplomatic prestige. So with the help of these marriage alliances, diplomatic prestige increased. Okay, he it lent him enormous diplomatic prestige and paved the way for expansion. So this basically was done for expansion, and this paved the way for expansion of Magadha. I'm sorry, I just corrected. Okay, expansion of Magadha towards the western side and northern side, that is westwards and northwards. Magadha was expanded because of these marriage alliances. Now Magadha's most serious rival, okay, the most serious rival of Magadha was Avanti. And the king of Avanti during that time was King Chanda Pradyota Mahasena. Chanda Pradyota Mahasena was the king of Avanti. So the serious rival of Magadha was Avanti, and King Chanda Pradyota Mahasena, he fought against Bimbisara. Okay, Bimbisara. They fought against each other. He fought against Bimbisara, but ultimately the two became friends. Okay, later they decided to become friends. So the greatest rival later became friends. They became friends with each other. Now he is described as, that is Bimbisara is described as Senia with an army. Okay, with an army, and perhaps we can say that he is the first king to have a regular standing army, to have a regular standing army. Okay, so perhaps he is the first king to have a regular standing army. And the earliest capital of Magadha was Rajgir or Rajagriha. Okay, was the earliest capital of Magadha. So this much was about Bimbisara and his conquest. Next we are going to see about his son, that is Ajatashatru. From almost 492 to 460 BC was the time period of Ajatashatru. Bimbisara was succeeded by his son Ajatashatru, and actually it is said that he killed his father and seized the throne for himself. Father means he killed Bimbisara and seized the throne for himself. Throughout his reign, he followed a very aggressive policy of expansion. Ajatashatru followed a very aggressive policy of expansion. Throughout his rule, he was following the same aggressive policy. This made Kashi and Koshala against him. His aggressive policy made Kashi and Koshala against him, against Ajatashatru. Now Prasenajit, who was the king of Koshala, which we have studied, he revoked the gift of Kashi. Revoked the gift of Kashi. Actually, Kashi was given as a dowry, and that gift was revoked by Prasenajit. Why? Because Ajatashatru had killed Bimbisara, and Kashi was given as a gift, as a dowry to Bimbisara. So Prasenajit, he revoked the gift of Kashi village, which had formed a part of his sister's dowry. Prasenajit's sister was Bimbisara's wife, so he he revoked the gift of Kashi. Therefore, war took place between Ajatashatru and Prasenajit. Okay, because of this, war took place between Prasenajit and Ajatashatru. They both fought a war. So Ajatashatru, he had killed his father and seized the throne for himself. His policy was aggressive policy of expansion, and this provoked Kashi and Koshala against him. Prasenajit, who was a king of Koshala, revoked Kashi, which had formed a part of his sister's dowry, and therefore war took place between Ajatashatru and Prasenajit. Now, several battles were fought. Okay, several battles were fought by Ajatashatru. Battles were fought, and without any lasting success for either. Okay, no, there was no lasting success for either Prasenajit or Ajatashatru. No lasting success for either. And ultimately, finally, what happened? Prasenajit was betrayed by his own minister. Betrayed by his own minister. And he died at Rajagriha. He died at Rajagriha, and Ajatashatru finally annexed Kosala kingdom. Ajatashatru finally annexed Kosala. So this is how Kosala also came into the hands of Ajatashatru, because Prasenajit was betrayed by his own minister. He finally died at Rajagriha, and Ajatashatru annexed the Kosala kingdom. And Ajatashatru, he strengthened the capital of Magadha. He strengthened the capital of Magadha by what he did is he built a small fort. Built a small fort for strengthening the capital, and a small fort, that is Pataligrama in the vicinity of the Ganges. To strengthen the capital, he built this small fort, that is Pataligrama in the vicinity of Ganges. That was done by Ajatashatru to strengthen the capital. And this Pataligrama later became the famous Mauryan metropolis, that is Pataliputra. Okay, it later became Pataliputra. Now, the Vajian confederacy was suppressed by Ajatashatru. This confederacy was suppressed by Ajatashatru. How he suppressed it? By sowing internal dissensions among Lichavis. Ajatashatru, what he did? He sowed some internal dissensions among Lichavis. And this brought problem among the Vajian confederacy, and that helped Ajatashatru to suppress them. Okay, so the Vajian confederacy was suppressed by Ajatashatru. He sowed internal dissension among the Lichavis. Now, a description is there about the war between Magadhans and Vajians. Okay, so in this description, it mentions the use of two weapons. Okay, there is a description between a war between Magadhans and Vajians, and in that it is said about two weapons. So what are those two weapons? That two weapons, first one is Mahashila Kantaka. Okay, Mahashila Kantaka. That means a large size catapult used for hurling heavy pieces of stones. Okay, it can hurl heavy pieces of stone. That is Mahashila Kantaka. Another weapon which is mentioned is Rathamushala. Okay, Rathamushala. That is from Ratha, we understand it is a chariot. Okay, it is a chariot with knives and cutting edges fixed to it. With knives and cutting edges fixed to it. So wherever it goes, it causes destruction. So in a description of the war between Magadhans and the Vajians, there is a mention of two weapons used. One is Mahashila Kantaka. That means it is like a large size catapult used to hurl heavy pieces of stones. And another one is Rathamushala, that is a chariot with knives and cutting edges fixed to it. So with the use of these kind of weapons, the empire was enlarged with the addition of Kashi and Vaishali. Kashi and Vaishali also was added to the Magadhan empire. This is how the empire was extended or expanded. Okay, so now let us just go through the points which we have studied till now. The rise and growth of Magadha. Magadha came into prominence under the leadership of Bimbisara of Haryanka dynasty and a contemporary of the Buddha. He began the policy of conquest and aggression which ended with the Kalinga War of Ashoka. Bimbisara annexed Anga and placed it under the viceroyalty of his son Ajatashatru at Champa. He was the earliest of the Indian kings to stress the need of efficient administration. He also strengthened his position by marriage alliances. His first wife was the daughter of King of Kosala. His Kosalan bride brought Kashi as dowry. His second wife Challana was a Lichavi princess from Vaishali. His third wife was a daughter of the chief of Madra province of Punjab. Marriage relations with the different princely families lent enormous diplomatic prestige and paved the way for the expansion of Magadha westward and northward. Magadha's most serious rival was Avanti. King Chandapratyodha Mahasena fought Bimbisara, but ultimately the two became friends. He is described as Sainya with an army, perhaps being the first king to have a regular standing army. The earliest capital of Magadha was Rajgir. Ajatashatru. Bimbisara was succeeded by his son Ajatashatru. He killed his father and seized the throne for himself. Throughout his reign, he pursued an aggressive policy of expansion. This provoked Kashi and Koshala against him. Prasenajit, king of Koshala, revoked the gift of Kashi village, which had formed a part of his sister's dowry. Therefore, war took place between Ajatashatru and Prasenajit. Several battles were fought without any lasting success for either. Ultimately, Prasenajit was betrayed by his own minister. He died at Rajagriha and Ajatashatru annexed the Kosala kingdom. Ajatashatru strengthened the capital of Magadha and built a small fort, Pataligrama, in the vicinity of the Ganges. This was later to become the famous Mauryan metropolis of Pataliputra. The Vajians confederacy was suppressed by Ajatashatru by sowing internal dissensions among Lichavis. A description of the war between Magadhans and Vajians mentioned the use of two weapons, Mahashila Kantaka, large-sized catapult used for hurling heavy pieces of stone, and Rathamushala, a chariot with knives and cutting edges fixed to it. The empire was thus enlarged with the addition of Kashi and Vaishali. So now let us move on to the next point. Ajatashatru faced a stronger rival in the ruler of Avanti. Okay, Ajatashatru had a stronger rival in the ruler of Avanti. And to meet this threat, he began the fortification of Rajgir. Okay, he started to fortify or fortification of the capital Rajgir. However, the invasion did not materialize during his time. So that was how Ajatashatru's time also came to an end. Now the next successor was Udayin. The time period 460 to 444 BC. Ajatashatru was succeeded by his son Udayin. So Udayin was the son of Ajatashatru. Okay. His reign is important because he is said to have built a fort at the confluence of the Ganges and Son and Patna. Okay, his role is very important because he built a fort, and he built a fort at the confluence of the Ganges and Son at Patna. Udayin had probably to fight with the king of Avanti. Now Udayin also had to fight with the king of Avanti because they were rivals. But the most notable event of his reign was the foundation of the capital city. Okay, during his reign, the capital city was founded, that is Kusumpura or Pataliputra. So that is why Udayan's reign is very famous, because it was during his reign that the foundation of the capital city of Kusampura or Patliputra was laid. And he was succeeded by the dynasty of Shishunagas. He was succeeded by the dynasty of Shishunagas. So the next dynasty which is coming is the dynasty of Shishunagas. So just let us see the points once more. Ajatashatru faced a stronger rival in the ruler of Avanti. To meet this threat, he began the fortification of Rajgir. However, the invasion did not materialize during his lifetime. Udayan. Ajatashatru was succeeded by his son Udayan. His reign is important because he is said to have built a fort at the confluence of the Ganges and Son at Patna. Udayan had probably to fight with the king of Avanti, but the most notable event of his reign was the foundation of the capital city of Kusampura or Pataliputra. He was succeeded by the dynasty of Shishunagas. So these are the points related to the rise of Magadha. We'll be continuing with this topic in the coming videos. If you have any doubts, you can ask in the comment section. Also, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Your likes and shares will be of a great encouragement for me to make more and more videos. So I hope to see you all soon in the coming video. Thank you for watching.